to give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
So tonight I want to start a new series on shame. And I want to just give you a little bit of why I want to do this series to get you so you're understanding where I'm coming from. 15 years ago when I started working in the addictions industry, I was asked by my boss to prepare a brand new workshop for the treatment center I was in on the subject of shame. And I didn't have a clue what it was, so I read the books that were available on shame, and I put together a workshop. The first time I taught it, I saw the impact it had on people coming out of addiction and trauma. And I thought, wow, this is a big topic. But I also saw that it was a super heavy topic. By the end of the workshop, people were having all kinds of memories stirred up by the stuff we were talking about. They were feeling pain at a deeper level than they had felt for a long time. And for a lot of people, it just became too much. It was overwhelming for them. The second thing I noticed is that some of the people before the workshop started said, I don't have any shame. And I started asking clients at the beginning of the workshops from that time on, how much shame do you have? And most would say, I don't have any shame. And by the end of the workshop, they're saying, I got all kinds of shame. And what I realized, it was a topic that people didn't understand and were very unaware of any of it in themselves. But it was once they became aware of it, they began to see how it affected every area of their life. And they began to realize that this was going to be one of the most important areas for them to deal with if they were going to make it in recovery. So that's part of why I want to do this series, because what I have seen since React started, and 3 years ago yesterday, React began, and what I have seen is the week that we do on shame, for many people, is one of the toughest weeks, but one of the most important weeks of their time at React. So it is a poorly understood issue, but it is a super important issue. And nobody from complex trauma is free of shame. Everybody from complex trauma has some shame. So we're going to start the series, but I want to put this out up front. This may stir up some very painful stuff. If it does, you have my permission to tune me out for a while so you don't get overwhelmed. I can't do all of the material in one night. I can't give you all the tools for healing in this first night, but those tools will come in ensuing nights that we are spending on this topic. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, feel free to just tune out for a little while. Now, what I want you to understand is shame, by definition, is not an emotion. It is a core belief about yourself, about who you think you are. There will be emotions that go with that we call shame emotions, but at its core, by definition, shame is a core belief about myself. Who am I? That is the question. And so what shame means is I have a negative view of myself. I see myself as not having a lot of value, not being very lovable. Therefore, I see myself as not being good enough, and therefore less than others around me. I would say 100% of people with complex trauma have some shame. The greater the complex trauma, the greater the shame, but everybody with complex trauma has some shame. In other words, complex trauma affects your core belief about your identity.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned to the scene of the class. That's what these are. These are discussions. The scene of the class, right? And I know sometimes the topics are difficult to say the least, but I'm not afraid to engage. Tonight's topic, heavy topic. Woo-wee. If you don't address your shame, you'll never be able to claim, and then all you'll do from that point on is blame. Claim can only come out of sitting with one's shame, accepting it, not judging it. Tonight's topic, divine reconstruction. Are you under attack or under construction? I want to know. Subtopic, a deeper look into Dr. David R. Hawking's map of consciousness and shame. Can shame be used to inspire and motivate healing? Is shame inherently harmful? Now, before I even get into my synopsis and my subtopics and all of the rigmarole, people have been coming to me. Listen, let me just give you this up front. Whenever you're listening to anybody, right? I don't care who they are. I don't care how credentialed or not credentialed they are. They are not an expert of you and your experience, right? You are the only expert of you. And what bothers me about our people and people in general, the way our mind is set up, we look for familiar patterns or patterns that make sense to us. And then where there is a pattern, there will be a parrot, someone to parrot another's work, right? What I want you to do is to understand why I frame these topics in the way that I do. So, people have been reaching out and I guess trying to get me to respond in a negative way, but I'm not going to do it. People have been talking about, oh no, we shouldn't focus on healing. We should focus on growth. And I'm saying wherever you got it from, those people or person you got it from probably worked really hard to create that distinction. What you need to do is to discover that, whatever concept it may be, within yourself. And once you discover the truth of who you are, you start to understand truth in everything. So there is no competition. There's no need to be competitive. There's no tit for tat. But let's be clear. The word heal, because some people are taking offense to the word heal, right? Heal is a bastardized term now, just like the word narcissist or love or God or anything, right? Just overly used and poorly understood. Well, let's get back to the etymology of the word heal, right? Old English means cure, save, make whole, sound, and well. Well, if we get into the work of Carl Jung said you're not a full human being. You're not fully yourself until you become fully integrated. The shadow must be integrated into the persona. That's what therapy and all of this stuff was supposed to be about. I believe you have a bigger say, right, in terms of integration than a therapist. A therapist, like a guru, what does the word guru mean? It means pointer, one who points. A therapist is pointing at the work that only you can do. So, cure. You are the cure for you. Save. You are Hamashiach for self. You are the Messiah of self. Make whole. Carl Jung. Integrate your shadow. Boom, right? Integrate your shadow with your persona, right? For people who didn't know, Hamashiach, the Mashiach, the Messiah, right? In Arabic, El Masiha, right? The word just means to anoint, to rub oil. That's all it is. The ancient Egyptians used to do it when they were doing their coronation for their pharaohs. Of course, pharaoh is not a Kemetic word. They didn't even use the term pharaoh. But the word Messiah comes out of those ancient Kemetan rituals when they would take the fat from Sobek, right? Sobek was the alligator god. They would take the tail from the fat and melt it down from the alligator, or well, not an alligator. Actually, it's a Nile. I mean, it's a crocodile, excuse me. And they would melt that down, and then you'd have your anointing oil for all of your royal family. But you must save from Hamashiach, the Messiah. You are the self-savior. You make yourself whole. You make yourself sound and well. That's what healing is supposed to do. This is how we get all the way back to the word healing, right? That's your job. The word heal, right, from its Gothic, from its German, from its Old English, literally means to make whole. You are unhealed if you are half of yourself. If you are living with unclaimed shame. This is what Krishnamurti meant when he said you're a second-hand person. This is what he meant. To heal is to be whole. I just need you to understand that, okay? Now, let's get deep. Tonight's topic. Are you under attack or under reconstruction? Right? Shame, from the Middle English. Shaman, from Old English. Oh, scamian, like scam, scamian. To be ashamed, blush, feel shame. Then you get Old English, right? To cause shame, the root of shame, right? And we start to find out shame is just feeling uncomfortable, feeling embarrassed. Now watch me take it up a notch, feeling exposed, right? I know you don't want to hear it tonight, but I'm going to give it to you. Tonight's topic, divine reconstruction. Are you under attack or under construction? In a world where shame is often demonized, tonight's topic seeks to explore that shame, when embraced, can catalyze profound transformation. Rooted in quantum mechanics and epigenetics, shame might be able to transcend mere emotion, becoming an alchemical force that weaves the personal with the collective. Tonight's thesis, we're going to try to integrate, right, the paradox of shame as both a shadow and a sacred driver, revealing how it can potentially ignite creativity while entangling individuals in karmic cycles. By reframing shame as a crucible for growth and accountability, we can try to challenge conventional wisdom, daring to ask, can true liberation be born from the depths of our shame-laden souls? I know you don't want to hear it put that way. Transmuting the shadow into gold. Can the journey through shame act as a spiritual alchemical process, allowing individuals to convert their inner shadow into a powerful catalyst for creative expression? Or does it risk binding them further within traumatic cycles? I'm interested to know. Collective shame versus ancestral honor. How can societies plagued by collective shame leverage their ancestral legacies to redefine worth, transforming pain into cultural significance rather than perpetuating victimhood? Are you ready for tonight? Do you have shame? Are you ready to claim your shame? The phone lines will be open, 1-800-920-1580. Let's cook!
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified
I'm
students.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
But the type of grief that I decided that was most fitting for adult survivors of family scapegoating is a grief called disenfranchised grief. Disenfranchised grief is a term that Ken Doka, a grief researcher, came up with, and he did quite a bit of work with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and many people know her 5 stages of grief, which was actually those studies were done on people who were dying. Some people think it's from the family or loved ones, but on the stages someone dying goes through. And so Ken Doka, D-O-K-A, in 1989, he began researching and writing about disenfranchised grief. And disenfranchised grief is experienced when someone suffers a loss that is not or cannot be openly acknowledged, socially sanctioned, or publicly mourned. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I'd also like to comment that I know grief is talked about in relation to scapegoating. I have seen other people talking about that, which is great. The term I most often see used is estrangement grief. I don't like to use that term because for me, as someone who knows this both personally and professionally and walk a similar path to my clients and have for years, estrangement grief to me suggests that I might be grieving, or one is grieving the loss of certain relationships or loss of family relationships. And that may be true, but not always. Some people, to be honest, they celebrate when they can extract themselves from abusive relationships, when they can have the boundaries needed to cease contact with people who are not loving toward them. And when they step back, they realize, well, was the relationship ever loving? What was the relationship based on? Maybe I had to be fawning, submitting, accommodating. The other person was bullying or narcissistic or controlling. So I don't see it as estrangement grief in all cases. Sometimes, certainly, it is. There may be estrangement grief associated with lost connections with nieces, nephews, people connected to the people, those in your life who were scapegoating you. But what I wanted to put in my book on family scapegoating abuse and in my research was information on disenfranchised grief, because I don't think this type of grief is recognized in scapegoated people. I think scapegoated people often don't recognize it in themselves. And I think sometimes people can get stuck in anger, or what I call righteous rage, in part because that can be an unconscious defense mechanism so that the grief isn't felt. Grief can feel so overwhelming, for some disempowering, makes them feel really vulnerable. One might feel more empowered if they stay in the anger or in that righteous rage. It's definitely a stage in recovery we need to pass through. This showed up in Kubler-Ross's research as well, anger. But grief, to fully heal and transcend these family scapegoating dynamics and the trauma and the intrapsychic wounds that are experienced in association with FSA, grief is a passage we must.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Lauren Boebert is standing by her, quote, pimp cane, end quote, comment about African-American Rep. Al Green. In an interview, the Colorado Republican dismissed a censor resolution saying Green shouldn't have shaken his pimp cane at President Trump during his congressional address. Asheville, North Carolina must revise its action plan to receive federal aid. HUD Secretary Scott Turner, who was black, urged the city to remove diversity, equity, and inclusion, citing a section prioritizing women in minority-owned businesses. A new poll shows most Los Angeles residents are unhappy with Black Mayor Karen Bass's wildfire response. Less than 20% rate her handling as good, while 41% call it poor. And New Yorkers honored civil rights icon Hazel Dukes at a Harlem service. Governor Kathy Hochul, Hillary Clinton, and Black Mayor Eric Adams paid tribute to the longtime NAACP leader who passed away March 1st at 92. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, y'all to give us what we want. gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from Nitsa and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
done to me. You can no longer make me cry. Look what you done to me, baby. I can no longer smile, baby. And I've waited so long just to carry on. I'm the blue gangster.
Remember, codependence and shame are a lack of personal responsibility. And we're stuck in what's called the adapted wounded child state. We're all children. And this is evidence when we blame somebody else by saying, you made me think, feel, do, or believe. All right? So a blame shifter does this. They're in their sentence will be, well, that's because you. So there's a because and a you. And so right there, they're staying the child because they can't take responsibility as an adult yet. And they may be 70 years old. But that's, I've talked about this in countless videos. People don't realize.
My. I just want to know. I want you to share with me tonight. I know these are tough topics. I know. But I'm not going to take my foot off the gas. They done let me loose into the Los Angeles radio market now. I'm here now. So we have to have these conversations. The dark side of vulnerability is the contemporary glorification of vulnerability, a trap that inadvertently compels individuals to wallow in shame, veiling their true emotional landscape with performative authenticity. Like he said, because and a you. Well, the reason why I'm like this is because this happened. Huh? Are you taking away your own self-efficacy? Ooh, shame and empathy in the digital realm. Could social media platforms, by invoking feelings of shame, act as accelerants for digital narcissism, right? Leading to deeper relational alienation rather than fostering authentic connections? I want to know. Shame as a type of fuel or energy. In what ways could harnessing the vibrational frequency of shame, which has been calibrated, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins, at 20 hertz, as a form of psychophysical energy, which could lead to breakthroughs in therapy by channeling it towards personal empowerment and societal transformation? Can we do it? Is there a karmic debt associated with shame? We've got callers on the line, and I'm going to get to them. Does enduring systematic shame, black folk, within societal structures, such as racism or classism, actually entrap individuals in karmic cycles, perpetuating a familial inheritance of shame that becomes a barrier to transcendence? I'm interested to know. Let's get these callers on. Let's get ready to cook. Who's been on the longest? You already know. My brother John from Mountain View, Hawaii. John, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings and blessings, chat. Honors to you, Zoe. Another one of these topics, and I'm going to take off running again. Let's start.
Come on.
Let's start at the point of shame.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, if you didn't understand the necessity of it, okay, I'll take it to a scripture. And this one, most of the parents know. The parents will understand this by telling this to their kids all the time. Honor your father and your mother, right? Sir, ma'am, did you or did you not pass up the point where you weren't supposed to piss off your kids too?
Ooh, here we go.
Let the shame begin. Let the shame begin. But at the same time, let's understand what the shame is supposed to do. Everybody is distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Your distraction is this quote-unquote purpose you call being in this job, doing this work, being this entrepreneur, chasing after this woman, going to the destination. But those of us on our real purpose are the ones that actually see ourselves.
So you're saying I can use the absolute lowest level of consciousness, according to Dr. David R. Hawking's consciousness grid. The lowest level is shame. You're saying I can use it as a catalyst to motivate, inspire, and perpetuate growth. Is that what you said? You're saying that's the bottom floor. There's nowhere else but up. Is that what you're telling me?
Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice.
Ooh, here we go. Come on, I'm listening. Teach me.
Again, if you're on your purpose, i.e., developing and realizing the real you, accepting who that is, and in the place where you have the greatest opportunity to move in any direction you want.
So
are
wait.
you missing the point of shame?
No, you cook it right now because I don't think the world is you telling me, just like in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, they say, hey, don't bring him in here until he's hit rock bottom. Because if he comes in here, he's just going to participate for a little bit, then they're going to leave. They're not serious. Rock bottom is when it's serious, right? Are you telling me that the consciousness level of shame, which is vibrating at 20 hertz, the lowest level of consciousness, is actually the light at the end of the tunnel? Ooh, come on, I'm listening, preacher.
But, sir, kind sir, ministers of all the world have been stating this to the very same effect. When you're in your pain, don't you see God?
Ooh. You see all kind of stuff. God, the devil, hot sauce. You see everything when you in your pain. Come on.
But again, choose a distraction or choose the level you want to be on. And I know I want to be with myself. I don't know about the rest of y'all.
So that is the bottom floor. See, the reason why I keep reiterating this point, because it's so powerful. And I don't know if everybody who is rocking back and forth with their church fans saying, that's right, that's the bottom level, can't go nowhere else but up. I don't know if they're going to agree with me tomorrow. When tomorrow topic rolled through here, I don't know if tomorrow they're going to be like, nah, I'm going to say, but remember I said, Pastor John, he called from Hawaii, and Pastor John has said. Go ahead, brother, I'm listening.
And as people say, I'm standing on it.
Ooh. Hey, Pastor John, guess what you just did, brother?
Bless you all, Mountain Views in the house. Love you, brother. And
love you, man. Hey, okay, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you, man. We on fire tonight. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we got South Central Los Angeles. We got Pensacola, Florida. We got Houston, Texas. If you want to bring your city into this most august panel of callers from all over the country, all you got to do is call. All right? I want to hear from you. Deuces.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything! The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's from a world of popcorn and candy, pony rides for a dime, little children laughing. I'm from a world of disappointments and confusions. I want her to be mine. I started talking, she kept on walking. She disappeared into the crowd. Oh, I lost my heart on the carousel to a circus girl who left my heart in pieces. Lost my heart on the carousel to a circus girl who ran away. I was the clown and she was the dancer. We both knew it would never work, but we took our chances. What I can't recall is if there was a girl at all.
Here's what someone who's avoidantly attached wants you to know. Growing up, I never got safety or attunement. Instead, I was met with criticism or was completely ignored. So withdrawing is my survival mechanism. My nervous system goes into a flee response. I feel trapped often, and I think the solution to having intense emotions is to run away from them. I'm hypersensitive to criticism, and I view any conflict as a personal attack. I was never shown that people can grow closer together through healthy communication. I fear conflict so much, I don't speak up for myself. Until one day I become so overstimulated that I shut you out. I blame you for this and struggle to see how it's my own fear of vulnerability. I feel smothered by your emotions and needs. No one showed me how to meet my needs, so meeting yours feels impossible. At one time, being dependent on someone was terrifying. Being hyper-independent gives me the illusion that I'm safe. Ironically, it only keeps us farther apart. I spent most of my childhood alone in my room. Being alone with no one to perceive me or judge me is the only place that I feel like I can be myself. Sometimes when I'm with you, I feel like all of my flaws are on display. Here.
Man, she's on fire. And that's Perla. I mean, you know, I have my reservations on Perla. No, man, I listened to Dr. Shoshana Johnson. And if Dr. Shoshana Johnson go, hey, Zoe, hold on, pimp. Not that one. Don't do that one. I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? So, it's rare you hear Perla up on here, man. Hey, I got pulled to the side. Listen, I got pulled to the side like LeBron should have did Stephen A. Shouldn't have been on the court. Dr. Jashana, hey, that's my sister. I love that sister. I love her husband. I love her family. Jashana Johnson pulled me to the side and said, hey, bro, this right here, nah, pimp, we not doing that. We not rocking with that. I said, cool. I'm rolling with Dr. Jashana. What we on? It's KBLA on mines. Whoop. I'm just saying, that's how it went down. But that little clip was very interesting. And I'm saying we all deal with some level of shame. I'm just saying, if you don't claim it, you're going to be in the position to be a blame shifter. It's claim over blame. If there's no claiming of the internal shame, then there's no reframing of that very same internal shame. You want to reframe it. It doesn't have to be this psychomagnetic, toxic, isotope in your spirit. Like that's just corroding everything about you. It doesn't have to remain, but you have to lean into it with empathy, with compassion, with non-judgment. It's part of your self-acceptance ritual that needs to take place that leads you to self-awareness. To be aware of yourself is to know yourself. And many of us are so invested in hiding ourselves. Remember, shame is very closely related to fear. Shame, guilt, fear. Where there's shame, guilt, and fear, there is a propensity to hide. What is hiding but repression and suppression? One is conscious, one is unconscious. Right? Now let's not play with it. If you hide in any aspect of your shadow from your significant other, you're not in a real relationship. Why? Do you understand? You're on stage. You're on relationship stage. In order to have a real relationship with another real person, you must have a real relationship with yourself. And where there is a low level of self-acceptance, right, you have a dysfunctional self relationship, or what is known as an intrapersonal relationship. That's where the real quality of loving is developed. Just listen. It all starts in childhood, right? Yep. Whatever is missing from childhood, right? Yep. Then you create all these coping mechanisms to make it through life, right? Yep. Do you know part of the coping mechanism is to accept the identity of the wounded warrior, somebody who got hurt, somebody who wasn't given everything they were supposed to get? So unconsciously, you're creating coping mechanisms to make it to the next moment, to make it to the next day. And then you get good at it. You get good at self-manipulation. You get good at negative self-talk, negative lies. It's just, you see, and that is the relationship you have with yourself. And then, paradoxically, oh my God, I want somebody to love me. Wow. Oh my goodness. We got callers on the line. Nzinga, Pensacola, Florida. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Like that man said, if you need to tune me out for a while.
Is that what happened? Because I know I went on a tangent. Forgive me.
No, not that. Just it's evoking. It's definitely what the gentleman said. Shame can be a triggering topic. So, you're doing an excellent job, though.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. But did you have any questions? Or did you want to lean into something? Come on. I'm like Rick James with the orange aura. Come on.
I think that shame can be passed down. In some instances, it can even be learned because things I've read before that things like depression and stuff can be learned, from a parent to a child. So it lead me to believe that shame could be too. But I really think a lot of times it's passed down. Especially I think, I can't speak for men, but I'm sure men have their own crosses to carry. But I know for women, we pass down ovum, we share eggs. And so I think that, that's a big thing because I think, shame can be passed down. And if you're not careful, it becomes a generational curse for families.
Come on.
And so, it's a lot of symptoms. So, you can have unworthiness, self-love deficiency, attachment, disorganized attachment styles. You have all those things. I think that can be symptoms of shame if they're not caught. And I think you were right. Shame can be a catalyst, but you've had to have enough. You've had to have your fill of it because, and let's be honest, everybody doesn't suffer from shame. Some people, they don't care. But I could say it definitely was a catalyst, but also a thorn in my side. Because it's like,
but how are you getting through it? How are you putting one foot in front of the other now that you know this? Because you seem exceedingly adroit on what the process is and where it comes from. And I mean, you're talking about generational curses, which I call generational curriculum, generational courses, right? So think about it. You got a great-great-grandmother who was abused psychologically, emotionally, shamed, and you were in her. In that, do you see? Because the grandmama to the mama, do you see? Then you. That's crazy. So tell me how you put one foot in front of the other, understanding that if you look at it like in this broad sense, gosh, I gotta heal this. Don't answer yet. Stay with me. When we come forward, we're gonna get in Zinga's thoughts.
All of those faces, and now all I have is me.